Chloe, no last name, just the girl who owns 47 lip glosses, 3 mismatched plates, one very dramatic houseplant named Kevin, who has definitely started a group chat about her life choices, and a delicate rose gold ring with a tiny diamond chip that has been missing for exactly 4 hours, 51 minutes, and 23 seconds, she has been counting, stands barefoot in her apartment at 6:29 p.m. on a Friday that smells like vanilla candle, warm skin, and the kind of electric anticipation that makes the air feel thick enough to drink. Wearing an oversized off-the-shoulder, white knit sweater that has completely surrendered the fight to stay on either shoulder, and the softest black cotton shorts ever invented. They're basically a rumor with pockets. Hair twisted up in a knot, held together by a single chewed-up pencil, 2 bobby pins, and the sheer force of delusion, when 3 calm, confident knocks land on her door. You guys, I'm Chloe, 22. Fairy lights glowing low and conspiratorial even though the sun hasn't fully set yet. Lo-fi playlist on its 7th hour of the slowest, filthiest beat it owns. Sunset bleeding peach and rose and molten gold through every window. Kevin the plant side-eyeing me from the windowsill like he's already sold the movie rights. And this is happening right now, 6:29 p.m., on a Friday that just looked at the script and said, "Watch me sparkle. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, comment the last time. Help me find my ring," turned into finding the rest of your entire life. Let's go. I open the door. Everett is leaning against the frame like he was sculpted there. Soft, black Henley with the sleeves shoved high enough to commit crimes. Dark jeans that hug in ways that should require a permit. Salt and pepper hair, perfectly imperfect. Green eyes, crinkled with that half-amused, half-worried, fully lethal look that could restart a dead heart. He's holding a tiny tactical flashlight in one hand and a half-finished iced coffee in the other, like he came prepared for both a search and rescue mission and a date. "You okay?" he asks, voice low and lazy and warm enough to melt the polar ice caps. "Saw you doing the panic crawl in the hallway earlier. Thought you might need backup before you started dismantling the drywall." I laugh. Too loud, too breathless, already toast. I lost my favorite ring, and I'm one overturned couch away from declaring a state of emergency. Please come save me from myself and my terrible life choices. He steps inside, kicks the door shut with his heel, and the apartment shrinks to the size of one shared heartbeat. We start the hunt like normal, responsible adults. Couch cushions flung like frisbees under the rug, inside every mug in the drying rack. Yes, even the one with the cold coffee from Tuesday. Behind Kevin the plant, who definitely didn't swallow it, but we check anyway. Inside the freezer, next to the emergency vodka. Because that's where I once found a missing earring. Under the bed, inside every shoe, even the pockets of the hoodie I wore yesterday. Conversation is perfectly innocent for the first 8 minutes. How the ring was a 21st birthday gift from my mom. Rose gold band, tiny diamond chip that catches every light like it's personally offended by darkness. How I've lost it twice before, and both times it was in the couch like it has a timeshare there. How Kevin is judging my complete inability to keep track of anything smaller than a dinner plate. How Everett once found his own car keys in the fridge next to the orange juice and still hasn't lived it down. Safe lasts exactly 8 minutes and 42 seconds. Then we both end up on the floor, hands and knees, flashlight beams crossing under the couch like we're archaeologists on the dig of the century. My sweater slips further off my shoulder every time I reach. His Henley rides up every time he stretches, revealing a strip of warm skin and the faint line of a happy trail I have zero business cataloging. Our shoulders brush, our fingers graze when we both reach for the same dust bunny. Our knees bump. Every laugh echoes too close. Every breath feels shared. The air thickens, sweetens, absolutely ignites. He's lying flat on his back now, half under the coffee table, flashlight between his teeth like a pirate, when he goes perfectly still. "Found it," he says, voice muffled and rough and unfairly hot. I scramble over immediately, hair completely escaping its knot. Sweater basically a lost cause at this point. He's holding the ring delicately between 2 fingers, the tiny diamond catching the fairy lights and throwing little rainbows across his cheekbone, his jaw, the hollow of his throat. I reach for it, slow because suddenly everything is slow motion and underwater and perfect. Our fingers overlap. Neither of us lets go. The ring is suddenly the least shiny thing in the entire apartment. He sits up slowly, still on the floor, knees bent, my ring glinting between us like it's laughing at its own brilliant decoy mission. "Chloe," he says, My name's soft and deliberate, like he's been tasting it for months. I answer by closing the last inch. The kiss is immediate, open, hungry, perfect. Like the ring was never lost. It was just waiting for the exact right moment to be found. We stay on the floor, sweater slipping completely off one shoulder and never going back up, Henley disappearing somewhere between the rug and the coffee table, fairy lights flickering like gossip, Kevin the plant pretending not to watch. The ring ends up back on my finger somewhere between the second and third kiss, slid there by his careful, reverent thumb like a vow instead of a recovery. We don't leave the living room for hours. There are slow, barefoot dances with no music except the lo-fi playlist looping the same perfect song for the 10th time, whispered confessions against collarbones about how he's been inventing reasons to walk past my door since the day I moved in with the too many boxes and the loud laughter that turns into happy tears when I admit I took the ring off on purpose this morning and left it on the coffee table just to see if he'd notice it wasn't on my hand when we passed in the hallway. Coffee that goes cold 3 separate times because neither of us can be trusted to care about caffeine when there are collarbones to trace. Quiet promises pressed against wrists and hip bones, and the spot just below my ear that makes my knees forget their job entirely. 14 p.m. We migrate to the couch, legs tangled, fairy lights flickering like they're gossiping. He steals the tiny flashlight, clicks it on under my chin like we're kids telling ghost stories, then kisses the diamond on my finger like it's the real treasure he came looking for all along. 47 p.m. Sunset is long gone, replaced by starlight and the soft glow of the city through the windows. We attempt to cook pasta because it's the only thing I own, and fail spectacularly. Water boils over, sauce splatters, smoke detector threatens mutiny. We end up eating it anyway, straight from the pot, sitting cross-legged on the counter, feeding each other forkfuls between kisses that taste like garlic and forever. 11 p.m. We make a wish on the digital clock. He whispers his against my neck, I whisper mine against his collarbone. They're the same wish. 33 a.m., we finally migrate to the bedroom because the couch started making noises that weren't us. The ring stays on my finger the entire time, catching every fairy light like it's proud of its matchmaking skills. 7 a.m., we fall asleep tangled under the same blanket, his head on my chest, my fingers in his hair, the rose gold ring warm against his skin where my hand rests over his heart. Chloe winks at the camera, phone propped on the bookshelf where it's been recording since 6:28 p.m., battery clinging to 1%, red light still valiantly glowing, sweater completely missing in action, the rose gold ring sparkling on my finger like it's taking a bow, fairy lights and moonlight, and the quiet, perfect hum of a Friday that just found everything it was ever looking for. And that's the full, longer, uncut, heart-exploding, 4-hour, 51-minute ring hunt. On the floor, fairy light rainbows, all evening into forever, flashlight between the teeth, sweater that never stood a chance story of how Help Me Find My Ring became the sparkliest, best, longest recovery mission of my entire life. Some things aren't lost, they're just waiting for the right person to come looking with the right kind of light. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment the last time a search party found way, way more than it was looking for. Chloe's dangerous desires just got found, and the ring was only the beginning.